damage.
And what's interesting about this harass, you notice that even we, the observers, were following that Banshee, following that Viking. That's exactly where Sen's focus has been as well, and in the meantime, Loner has planted down an expansion. And look at this nice little juicy army that Loner has built up. Some Marauders, a lot of Marines. In his main, he has a ton of barracks, tech labs, reactors out. He is already going into big macro mode, and it's going to be tough for Sen unless he does get this third expansion up and running at the far north.
A little riskier for Sen putting these Roaches in the middle of the map with a Banshee out here. No way for the Roaches to defend themselves. The Banshee coming back inside here. Looks like he will be driven out.
It looks like this Banshee is going to be caught by another Queen, and I like this, putting some supply depots in front of the natural, and Sen walking around with a few Roaches while he takes his third base, but the Banshee going to find Sen's third hatchery, and it deals damage just so fast, Sen has to get some anti-air up there, or he's going to have to cancel the hatchery.
Oh, well,
the Roach is being driven out. The Banshee still doing damage.
It looks like these Roaches are doing a little bit of retreat, just a little bit of poking, but not going to be too terrible. And it looks like Loner needs to pay attention, and he's going to lose that raid. Oh, Banshee. Wrong game.
Well, right now we see that Sen's getting a lot of upgrades. He's staying the Roach route, getting ranged attack, Zergling speed, and Roach speed all at once. Kind of Fruit Dealer-esque there. So that's interesting that we're actually going to see Roach-based play in a Zerg versus Terran. We have not seen that really since Beta Phase 1.
This Viking might take out this Overlord. Nice kill there. And the army is pushing out. Timing attack here from Loner.
And this is interesting. Right now, his stim is almost done. His concussive shells are almost done. He's not going to want to engage until those are both done, but he is on the creep. A little bit dangerous. If Sen knew he didn't have any right now, he may engage, but here we go. It looks like stim just about to finish. Loner realizes it's not quite done, and I like the fact he has his Viking landed for some extra damage with this army.
All right, now he has to have a good surround here, the Zerg player does. He has to be very careful. Oh, hold that thought, actually. He's going to do it for a drop. Over here at this expansion, I don't know if this is a wise decision. I think he could have actually gone straight forward and attacked, but Loner doesn't have the intel that we have because we're the observers. So he's going to drop over here.
Ooh, I kind of like this. He looks like he just wants to maybe pick off the Queen if possible and run away. Roaches do not hit air, of course, and look at that. Almost gets the Queen and really doesn't lose that much for that harassment. That's a good move by Loner. I really like that attack.
Yeah, and I mean, that was so smart. Moving to the front of his opponent's base, we immediately saw that Sen was going to be making a lot more Roaches, and there's the Contaminate on the factory. That, of course, delays any construction of things from that building for 30 seconds, but very good play by Loner, moving up, forcing his opponent to make a lot of Roaches, which, of course, like you said, can't shoot up, and that protects these medevacs. So, and it looks like another drop going into the main, but don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, it looks like Speedlings and Roaches blocking those medevacs from doing anything, but at least Loner is prodding. The problem with a Roach and Ling-based army, ooh, look at this, he's going to unload here and use the low ground as well. Sen is going to want to gather everything up into the main base, and it looks like this Queen may go down.
Queen taken out here. Meanwhile, the main army moving over here, picks it back up into the medevac. Stim!
Oh, that's a huge surround. And look at this, both players using the high and low ground. Loner re-unloading at the top, picking off a lot of Lings and Roaches, but here comes Sen from the north side with a giant Roach army, but his main is looking increasingly vulnerable. Loner has a lot of units there, but look at the Roach count from Sen. That's the macro that made Sen famous, and Loner is in a full-out retreat, and wow, Sen, Loner doing a little bit of pushing back action himself. He is not giving up with this attack yet.
You know, this is some of the best Terran play I have ever seen. During all this, you can see on the mini-map, Loner is taking a third base. That's something we have seen lacking from so many other Terrans. So he is keeping his macro up while he's being aggressive, not wasting any units, dancing back and forth. Just remarkable Terran play.
And look at that north expansion. Not many drones mining there at all. This is the power of pressure. Loner is constantly attacking, constantly basically freaking Sen out, and Sen has no opportunity to make queens or drones.
So we have an attack, it looks like coming up here, a push, heading towards the north. Note the creep has been spread out even further here. He does have infestors as well.
And it looks like one lone Roach at that expansion is going to get some kills, and Loner's going to begin wailing away at it with his drones. Going to take quite a while to kill that off, but it looks like Sen is also swinging from the north side with more Roaches, just wants to delay mining from that expansion as much as possible.
Yeah, with that 4-range Roach, you can actually harass expansions that have planetaries on the back mineral patches, but it looks like it is time for Loner to move up for another attack. Does a scan. He wants to take out some creep tumors so that he can do a much better job of this attack.
Here comes, their tanks are in siege mode. Banelings are on the way. The planetary fortress will manage to take out these roaches. Here comes the attack now.
Oh, look at that huge spread by Loner. He's doing so much damage. Fungal growth on those back units. They will be trapped. Hydralis also dealing a lot of damage at the back, but it looks like Sen has to retreat. Loner doing some amazing macro there. Overlord's getting caught off guard, floating right over the Marines and the Marauders. Oh no, Sen trying to do surround, even bringing his queen into battle, but another stim. 3 medevacs. The tank is sieging. Sen is running out of options.
That's right. It looks like Sen has almost no army left. If we take a look at the supplies real quick, 91 against 122. Loner's doing an excellent job here. Look at his positioning below the ramp. It funnels all the units coming out into a small choke point. And Loner is he is playing amazingly, Tasteless.
He is just taking him out right now. Reinforcements coming up here. Loner's control has been too good this game, and he made a great decision making that planetary fortress back here, if we can take a look at it for just a second. But the battle continues on up here as Loner is very close to possibly winning this game unless Sen could pull a rabbit out of his hat.
But rabbits, you know, they are not that good right now in StarCraft 2, a recent nerf to them. And it looks like Roach is coming down the ramp, getting pounded by these Marauders. And this is the problem with Roach-based play. The Marauder, Marine, Medevac, and tank composition, it's very hard to close with the Roaches. And
there's the good
GG.
game.
Wow. Very impressive play.
He couldn't pull off that impressive rabbit transition.
You know, rabbits nowadays not as good as they used to be in Phase 2 of the beta, if you recall. Well, that was actually a pretty awesome game. What do you think about Sen's play there, Day 9?
I mean, he played well. I think the big thing that let me tell you the problem, Artosis.
Okay, thanks.
He transitioned to Hydralisks, which I think ate up a little bit too much money at the wrong time. We were talking a lot about the power of aggression in that game. Loner kept attacking, but if you're against a more passive player, you have the time to get those Hydralisks. You have time to make the drones to help you get the money to build the Hydralisks. And by getting them too early, Loner saw that and just kept attacking, and Sen just basically ran out of stuff.
He definitely did. I agree. That wasn't the greatest unit composition we've ever seen from Sen. I think he needs to maybe switch it up a little bit, maybe go for Mutalisks. I think that's going to be much better against Loner's more aggressive style. He can have a little bit more map control there. But Loner played amazingly there.
Yeah, that's really impressive because, I mean, a lot of players have been transitioning away from a lot of bio play, favoring mech, Hellions, Thors, tanks, because the Baneling is so difficult to deal with. But a lot of even better Terrans are just relying more on their micromanagement, spreading out Marines and Marauders, and it's really what we got the chance to see that game. Loner just never stopped attacking with those Marines and Marauders and those medevacs as well.
And, you know, the most impressive thing about Loner's play, aside from always microing, making great decisions, and of course, you know, just great attack timings. Basically, when he took that third base, I was like, oh my, Loner is so legit. Because a lot of these Terrans nowadays, they just attack, they get ahead, and this is a problem we've seen so much with StarCraft 2 pros right now, is they're used to the 2-base versus 2-base kind of mentality.
Yes,
they don't take that third, and the third is really what did it. It made Sen try to put pressure down there, had less units to stop the push.
Absolutely.
And it was just great play by Loner.
And, you know, one thing to note that's really impressive about Sen is, in fact, the reason we couldn't invite him to the game is because he was rewatching the replay immediately afterwards. And that's actually a trait of very strong players, both in StarCraft and in Warcraft 3 and in StarCraft 2. They are relentless about rewatching their own games. It's so painful to rewatch a loss that you just had on the main stage with everyone watching, but the disciplined players know that any little edge they can get by rewatching that game will help in the next round.